Welcome to the SailPoint Identity Security Solution Show, the one place where you're going to learn all about SailPoint's capabilities, products, and services, and how they help you solve your identity security challenges. I'm Jaishree Subramania, your host, and joining me today is Erik Huckle, the head of GenAI and LLM product management. The topic today is pretty cool. It's all around AI. AI continues to be the rage. Generative AI refers to that type of artificial intelligence that can create various forms of content, from text to images to audio to video and even 3D models, right? So Gen AI models are trained on large amounts of data. They learn the patterns and the relationships within the data, enabling them to generate new content very similar in style to the content to the training data. Gen AI has the potential to revolutionize many industries, and that's what's happening today. Industries are looking at the right business models to look into. Erik is here today in this podcast to introduce our latest AI capability in Identity Security Cloud that will change the way you think about writing descriptions for entitlements. So, Erik, let's sort of get into it.
Yeah.
Share with us, what is this capability that you've got?
Yeah. Well, Jaishree, we talked about this for last Navigate. SailPoint wants to innovate, but not at the expense of customer data and security. So we wanted to do it responsibly. So we looked at all the different places that we could kind of solve customer problems. And one really great application was writing the descriptions for entitlements. So this new capability we released in April has seen some great success already, great adoption. But really what it does is it simplifies the description and creating the description for this piece of access called an entitlement. So looking at the name, a lot of customers would say, I don't want to write out this rich description. It takes a lot of time. And we generate that using generative AI. It also improves access reviews, so you know what type of access it is. It's not just this complex string of words. And then it enhances your governance and compliance. So all things that our customers want, but using kind of the magic of generative AI to get there. We're pretty excited about that.
Yeah, what was the driver? So I know you looked into all of these different use cases in terms of what is the best use experience that you can provide to our customers. What was the main driver, and why did you choose this particular capability of entitlement descriptions? Can we sort of dive into that a little bit more?
For sure. I think everything starts with what type of customer problem we're trying to solve first. And when we looked at it, we saw that over 2/3 of our customers had no description written in for these entitlements. And we're talking some of our largest customers have millions of entitlements. So something is like very tedious, very time consuming. And if you only have a couple hours in the day, you have more important things to do.
That's true.
So that was like a very clear customer problem we wanted to solve. But I wouldn't want to lead people astray that like we saw the generative AI hype on the horizon. We wanted to understand how we could use it and where we could solve problems with, and we didn't want to be left behind, and we wanted to actually lead there. So we saw this great opportunity to say, hey, we've got this really world-class infrastructure. We've got some great partners that we could kind of talk to with AWS, Snowflake, some great companies say, give us your most cutting-edge technology, and we're going to dive in and solve some really interesting customer problems. So.
I'm glad you chose this as the first one. I know there's a lot more you're planning, right? There's a lot of discussions in the industry when it comes to privacy and data security when it comes to AI. Can you describe how these concerns are being addressed with the capability that we have, the Gen AI entitlement descriptions?
For sure. Customers are getting smarter and smarter about AI and what to ask and how to kind of delve into the details. I think maybe less mature companies or companies that don't have a good understanding of their infrastructure, how this works, it feels like a little vaporware. They're just like, hey, it's okay. And so we've seen customers have entire AI councils and groups that are vetting our solutions before they test it in. So there's a high bar for us, and there always is a high bar for SailPoint of how we handle our customers' data. So almost like an analogy. I'll start with an analogy, and I'll talk about what this is. I was thinking about this on the way here, but it's almost like a nice corporate kitchen where you're a chef and you're walking into this kind of a a pristine, approved hygienic spot. And then each station has tools that are solving a specific problem. So like sauteing, cutting, and then you prepare this dish and you bring it out to your customer. And where I'm going with this is that AWS Bedrock is this managed service that houses these different foundation models that are different for different use cases. Right now we use Claude, a foundation model, which is from Anthropic. And AWS Bedrock actually lets us create a private copy of each foundation model for our customers. So customer data is never transmitted outside of that. It doesn't leave these environments that we have at the same level that we protect their data, just like other SailPoint products. We're not innovating with where customers' data is going, and it's staying right there where we can protect it. So I think that's something that is important in this industry now. Of like, where is your data going? How is it being used? And it's very clear for us in SailPoint of this special kind of area we keep this customer data in. It's only for the customer. It's not being transmitted anywhere else. And so we're able to kind of innovate, but still stay easily within the bounds of privacy and security of our customers' data.
That's excellent, right? The guardrails and the principles that we have and the importance that we lay, when it comes to customer data. And I'm so glad you've got those processes very clearly laid out. Now, you mentioned you launched this in April, right?
That's right.
There are customers using it today.
Mm-hmm.
Can you give us a little bit more insights on what's working? What is it that you're hearing from customers on how this entitlement descriptions is really helping them? Because we've heard data showed that most of the time those descriptions are pretty blank and it was a guesswork. Now it's changing. So give us some insights on what's happening there.
Absolutely. So first of all, I'd be remiss to say that it's not just me that's kind of building these products. We've got a lot of great engineers. There's a product manager, Alec Gruce, who's kind of managing this now and iterating to improving it as we go. So I connected with him earlier, and he's kind of showing some of the information. So a third of our customers, and this is for the Business Plus suite of customers right now, are getting the recommendations and just approving it. No edits, no kind of changes with it. And that is a number always that we want to kind of continue to improve. But we're seeing some really good usage of our customers using it and then the approval. And actually, let me backtrack a little bit. So a third of our customers that are Business Plus are using it. Over half of these descriptions when they come in are getting approved right away. So, always, like SailPoint, always room to improve as product managers, but this is really good adoption for us, and we continue to drive that as we go on forward. I think one of the really exciting stories, though, is we're also hearing of some of our largest, most mature customers actually moving into the Business Plus suite and saying, this is such a big problem for us that we're willing to kind of move into, a higher suite for it to like take these capabilities and use those. And the team will continue to kind of build and push capabilities to that highest tier, most mature customer. And we kind of talk horizons, but the ones that really can use a lot of these capabilities right off the bat and use them well, we're getting a lot of demand from that as well. So seeing those big customers saying, we want this, we're going to move up to that next tier and to use it is like kind of fun for us.
That's excellent, right? The value.
Yeah, the value.
The value aspect of it. And what's really interesting is in the past few months, since April, you're saying half of it is getting approved automatically.
Yes.
That's excellent,
Yes.
right? As you move on, that number is going to increase because of the way the system is learning as well,
Absolutely.
right?
Yeah.
That's fabulous, right? So we'll keep looking into this and see what additional insights and what changes that we need to bring together. So let's sort of look at the last question here that I have. What's next? Every time I talk to you, Erik, you have the most coolest of ideas on what's really happening in the industry, what business model we should bring into SailPoint, and how do we tie it to our existing capabilities? Because for us in AI, when we talk about AI, it's pretty seamless in terms of every single capability that we've got, driving those efficiencies and productivity, right? Let's talk about some of the cool things that you're thinking about coming up.
For sure. And yeah, I'm glad it looks seamless. I think under the hood, we're always working hard, iterating, building. We've got a great team to work on it, so it's not always my great ideas, it's the team. But something I'm really excited about is now that we've been using generative AI for a year plus, like SailPoint has been in the AI space for a long time. But even this new capability, new infrastructure, we started with something that was high impact for customers, low risk, and something we thought that would be a really big impact. We've started working through this natural language search and what that would look like of, when you say something, it kind of drives an action. And I don't want to maybe reveal too much of this, but the big customer problem we see that we want to try to solve is, customers or users are working in one part of the product and they've got to go to a different part of the product to solve a problem. We're starting to think of how we can tie together different parts of our SailPoint product more seamlessly so they can kind of solve problems right in one single workflow. And using generative AI to not only translate their simple request to action, but even bringing all these kind of disparate parts of the product together in one place. So it's a big effort, but we've already seen some really great results, and we're building on a strong foundation. So I think we're moving really quickly. So, I think we've talked a little bit about maybe some stuff at Navigate we want to talk about. So maybe I'll leave it till then. But
yes,
we're excited.
Let's hold till then, right?
Yeah.
There's a lot of fun things coming up.
Yeah.
Again, on the AI, as I pointed out, AI is a rage, and for us at SailPoint, it's an ongoing discussion. It's not something new that we've been looking at. There's a whole lot of net new use cases that we look at, new models that we're looking at. What is it that the customers, are looking for to make it seamless as part of that user experience? Erik, you and your team have done fabulous when it comes to these product announcements. A big thanks goes to you. And folks, if you have any questions, reach out, get to the website, get to see some of the fantastic blogs that Erik puts together as well, where you can get more information on what's coming, what's working, and some of the insights that we've got. That was fantastic, Erik. A big thanks goes to you and your team for making this amazing in terms of all the net new capabilities that we've got for our customers.